Once again, we've got it up off the ground, which is kind of crooked right now because the jack's underneath it. We got it up off the ground. What we're going to do is, with the way I've got these set up, for some reason, I didn't get this one on tight enough, so this one's the one that's leaking. I'm going to get the bed off today. Got to get the gas tank out of the bed, which it's already empty, pretty much empty. So we're going to get that out of here, move the airlines around just a little bit, and then get all the bolts off the bottom of this, see if there's a ground. If there's not a ground, then that's fine. Unplug the lights and get the bed pulled off of here using the hoist there. So that's what's on the agenda for this weekend. That way we can start getting underneath here to start thinking out maybe air management, maybe get a new muffler on there. What else? See if the possibility of putting the gas tank back underneath and trying to get it lifted up as high as possible under there. Because, yeah, we'd like to have the bed space back. So we'll see. It may not work, but we may not even get to that today. But that'll be the first thing, is getting this bed off. All right, let me show you what I did here. Now you guys are wondering, how do you keep track of everything? Well, that's how you do it. See, I used masking tape on this fuel line, used red tape on this fuel line, used black tape on this fuel line. Coincided that with black tape, red tape, masking tape. On the wires, number them. 1 and 1. We're having some fun. 2 and 2. Yeah, see, you remember that song. But anyway, yes. Just number all of them to coincide with the one on the other end. That coincides with 4 here and 1, 2, 3, 4. The other one was just a plug. I'm going to end up probably redoing all of this just to clean it up a little bit after I figure out if I can get it underneath there or not. But we're going to get the tank out of here first, which I siphoned all the gas out of it and used it for actually mowing the grass all this last summer that this has been here. So let's go ahead and yank this out of here, which, I mean, it's really not that heavy. All right, trying to get that front end aired up. I got to have that almost at max PSI, so that's why it's running right now with the airline attached to it. What I did here, yeah, it wasn't centered. It should have been centered before I attempted to do this, but I get ahead of myself sometimes. It was basically just 2 straps coming up here to the hook and then back, and then to the hook and back right in the center, and then lifted it right off. The nice thing that I found out about Ford is that the bolts are in the top, not like Nissan and Toyota and Mazda. Ford's got them right here. You just untap them here. All right, they're done. There's actually 6 of these big bolts right here that hold the bed in, and you're done. There might have been one more in the center, but I'm not sure. It's been cut out. I'll have to look. But yeah, you take those off and then just hoist it up off of there. I did scratch the cab a little bit, but that's fine. We're going to be painting this, so I'm not so worried about some of the scratches. Now I got to get this dropped back down and scooch it forward. All right, so what I did was I brought this down to a level where I could twist it like that and get the bottom end on touching the ground. And as I brought it down, I pushed it up so it would rock up like that onto that dolly. It's just a Harbor Freight furniture dolly. It's just enough to, it holds it up and it doesn't move around real easy. Whew, you see I'm out of breath, but I got it over there. It's wedged up against that, kinda. It's not gonna fall, so it's gonna sit there for, well, as long as I need it to. Shouldn't be long. Now that we're under here, I can look to see how this is mounted on. I think they just welded it across in a few spots. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. I'm cutting that out. Unless anybody can see why I would need to keep that. I think it's just a smog pump. It helps to recirculate fumes and whatnot. So I'm thinking I can just take that off. But I won't do it until I hear back from a few of you and a couple other friends that I can ask that question to make sure that I don't screw up by taking that off. With this like this, I'll be able to get in here and put the pan hard bar in, put a pan hard bar in. Not the one that's on there. I'm not really fond of the way that it's done, so I'll figure out a different way and then make sure it'll get laid out. I also need to check to make sure that enough of the tunnel over the drive shaft is done. Looks like that cross member is bent or broke. One of the two. Look, there's a crack right there. So that's from wedging that out for that to be able to hang in there. So we'll probably cut off the exhaust and then figure out a way to redo this cross member some way, somehow, so that it's up higher and it doesn't rub the drive shaft. Get that figured out in there. Put the gas tank underneath there. I need to get this moved back into the shop a little further. Get this up off the ground and then slide that tank underneath there. Push it up in there with the jack and see how high up we might be able to get that in there. The rear should be fine. It's mainly the front underneath the cab that is, I think, going to stick down a little further. Well, no, yeah, because no, I think the back part goes to the back. We'll figure it out once we get in there. I'm thinking too much. But I want to take all this out of there. That way the new air management can slide into that spot there, which that has to do with this tank here. Getting this tank hopefully to go between the frame rails. I haven't measured that yet. Plenty of stuff to do, but if I get anything else done today, I'll go ahead and do a little bit more. So till then, we'll see what happens. All right, we got the whole crew out here again. We got we pulled this back, and now what we're doing is we're trying to clean this off as much as we can to try to figure out where the welds are. My wife found a weld there, and then she thinks the same thing on the underside on this one, on this side and this side. So we're going to go ahead and grind into this. We're not going to reuse this tank. We don't know how far off it's rusted, how much water is left in it, none of that. So we're going to go ahead and do that so we can try to keep that cross member intact and then figure out a way to get this off, which that's not going to be hard. I mean, it's basically, we'll either unbolt it or we'll cut this mount off and get that out of there completely. What else? Yeah, let's do that. Further inspection, this is bending like that because they notched it for the drive shaft, okay? When they did that, they weakened it. They did not reinforce it with, you know, a harder plate steel or even another piece of like 1 inch by 1 inch underneath this lip to secure that. What's happening is when the bags lift up, they're putting pressure on the outside of this, which that's trying to twist this. What it's doing is it's twisting the frame on both sides in. Whenever you go with a bag on bar, inside or outside, you have to reinforce the frame so that the frame can't twist. That's what a lot of all your cross members that come factory or after you're building something, you have to put cross members in because of the torsion and weight that's going to be put onto the bags and your suspension and everything. So everything has to be properly reinforced or it's just going to be wishy-washy and eventually cause stuff like this. It's breaking. And this is starting to bend in right at the center because this is twisting this way and this side is twisting this way. So that reinforcement has to be across there. All right, what did we do? We got the drive shaft out. You can see that front cross member is bent up in there. So I don't know if we might have to replace that. We'll have to take a look at it, but we definitely have to reinforce that. We've already talked about that cross member on top. We've got the air management that was right here. We took the tank out and cut it out. It was pretty easy. And then that piece, we went ahead and took it out for now. It's right over there just in case somebody says, no, you have to have that. Okay, we'll figure it out. I doubt we're going to have to have it because it hasn't been hooked up for a while. The pan hard bar, we're probably going to put a new one in, but we got to figure out how to make this longer. I want my pan hard bar to be as long as possible. Probably come out right here and come all the way across. But we'll talk more about that. We're also talking about possibly remounting compressors right in here. So that'll be something else that we're going to contemplate doing. The air tank is going to fit right in between here with a slight modification of the bottom side of the frame there. It'll bolt to this side and this side, but we're going to have to cut the bottom part of the C on the frame. So like the bottom part will be cut, which means that we'll have to come on the outside and do some reinforcement brackets that will angle under, and then we'll box it in and re-weld it up. That way it reinforces whatever we cut out on the other side of that. What else? I think that's about all we got going on right now, right, baby? Yeah. So now we're just going to go ahead and button this up, bring this back down a little bit, keep it at a slight angle so that we got blocks in the front end so it won't hit the ground, and we're going to keep it up at an angle like this so that we don't leak anything out of the transmission. If it's a possibility of it leaking, I don't know. I know we pulled it out of the transmission. Usually that means that the oil can drain. So with it up in the air and aimed down, the oil will more than likely stay in there. The gas lines and all that are up there, so we didn't blow up. And I put a, just so you guys know, I put a black rubber glove on it here, and then the hoses ran up into the fingers, and then I taped this all up here just for now to keep it up and out of the way. But that way we didn't have any excess fumes while I was grinding all this off and blow up. Safety first, right? You guys are always bugging me about that. But I understand. We need to stick around a little while, huh? See, look, and I used my, these are OSHA approved safety glasses, right? At least I had these on, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to see what was going on with that. For anybody that's following along, wondering about my weight loss, yes, I have lost more weight. I am down to, I'm under 266 now. I'm not exactly sure where, but I'm under 266. I'm trying to get into the 250s by the first of the year. Then I'm going to start doing more toning. My waistline, I am literally now wearing a 38 waist, which I haven't been below a 42 in over 10 years. So I'm wearing a 38 waist, and I'm continuing to lose weight. A lot of you guys say, how? Well, I am just eating properly. Literally, I mean, you cut your calories, cut your carbs, and eat like a normal human being, and don't gouge yourself, and you'll be able to lose weight. So yeah, I'll start doing my major workouts. But all right, we're going to get these under there so that they'll actually go up really high, baby. You can put them back towards the back here. Yeah, right around in there. We'll just yank them up, and we'll drop it down a little bit more than what it is now. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Give us some thumbs up. Comments at the bottom. Whatever you guys want to talk about. And I'll try to do it in the next video. Next weekend, I may not get a video out. And the reason being is because I got to do outside work. We got to start getting the Christmas stuff up and start fixing up the house. I got to get some stuff cleaned up outside and moved around. And that's what's going on next week. My wife will be at work, unfortunately. So she won't have to do all that hard work. I know, right? That's Jesus. And that's what's going on next week. Maybe I'll do a little video of that. I don't know. I'll see how many of you guys say that you want that, or how many of you guys have even made it to this part. Climb on the roof. Yeah, watch me climb on the roof. No. Kathleen can't wait for me to climb on the roof. She wants to get up there. Yeah, she wants to get up there with me. So, all right. See you guys in the next video. Bag your shit.